really good spread here of the units, trying to make sure that if Intensity does push out, he won't be able to make it very far. Looks like we haven't got an expansion up yet. We do have an observer here of Intensities checking out the expansion and coming back to the base to see what's going on. And we do now finally see that Nexus coming up. And look, oh, we are seeing that Warp Prism. He is getting into the warp mode and pushing out 3 Zealots into the mineral line. So this could delay the production. If we take a look at the income, Intensity is sitting on a better army, and look at this. It's causing 7 of the Zealots of KY's to retreat back to the base. So we've got 2, 3, looks like about 7 or 8 total kills now. Lots of workers being destroyed. I know this doesn't update right away. Wow, 10 worker deficit at this point, and that did reduce his mining from 600 and 700 all the way down to 0 for a good, I don't know, a good 20 seconds, as those probes did try to fend off. Ooh, now only sitting at 11 probes. That is definitely going to hurt the economy of KY for the next few minutes. Getting rid of that tab. We still have this forward pylon for KY, and we do now see KY taking out that Warp Prism in the base. And looks like he is getting a second or third immortal, I should say. This is kind of funny. This is the abuse that Force Field is used with right now. You can just sit 6, 7, 8, 9 sentries out here and continually Force Field these troops. Intensity trying to trick them with a little warping in a couple stalkers outside the field here, but unfortunately that is not going to be enough. He does, that is just terrible. Utilizing that force field, it is able to push Intensity's army right back into his base. So some very good containment done here, continually putting up those force fields and warping in additional units. Still sticking with that fairly heavy Zealot and Sentry army. We do see the force fields fading now, and he could be pushing out, but if you look at KY, he doesn't see it, and unfortunately Intensity doesn't see much either. We are now seeing our second Warp Prism coming in, with 2 Immortals, and he's gonna, oh nice, he's gonna turn into the warp mode and warp in 3 Zealots too, so he may have a problem on his hands here as he's forced to retreat all his Zealots again. Actually, he's retreating his whole army. So mission successful with this drop. At this point, he does take the Nexus down. He takes a pylon down, so he can't even warp in additional units. He is over the supply cap, sitting at 64 over 58. This is going to be big trouble for KY. Until he can get those units back in his base, Intensity is free to take out as many buildings as he can. Taking down a Nexus, a pylon, and 2 gateways, I should say warp gates. He is going to lose those 3 Zealots, but not a big deal, as he did prevent this contain and do some more large economic damage to KY. So nice job by Intensity distracting KY in order to push out. Intensity, like I said, did bring out these 2 Immortals, so they were not lost. It looks like this Warp Prism is going to go do some scouting, and it looks like he is going to see this pylon. Is he going to go take it out? No, it looks like he's just going to scout it and see what's happening, make sure there's no forward gateways. Oh, and yes, he is now going to come take it out with the bulk of his army. Checking back at Intensity's base, he is getting his expansion up and running, so KY also trying to secure the 10 o'clock position expansion while Intensity gets his natural. So that will be a lot easier to defend. Unfortunately for KY, he's now only working off 2 warp gates instead of 4. He is getting his Twilight Council up. Are we going to see another weapon upgrade or a weapon upgrade? No. So we're more than likely going to see Charge or Blink researched, although I don't think that's going to make the difference, as the army of Intensities is just astronomically more. This Warp Prism here doing some scouting. It looks like KY does see this, so he's probably going to go and take that out as soon as possible. Yeah, he definitely does see it. He's going to go chase after it. Intensity's still sitting on a rather large army. Good diversity too. Bunch of Stalkers, Zealots, Sentries, and Immortals. Not a really good solid way to counter that without heavy micromanagement. And hopefully Intensity's micromanagement is up to par as well. Still working off 3 Warp Gates and the 1 Robo Bay. We are going to see him push in. It looks like he's loading up 4 Stalkers in order to push in. It looks like it's going to be a good tactic, as he's going to use these 4 Stalkers to destroy this pylon, maybe the second one, and see if he can draw some troops up the ramp. Ooh, a little bit of a blunder there, only taking 2 Stalkers out and losing the Warp Prism, but it looks like he is going to take out these reinforcing Stalkers, which is going to force even more of the army coming up. This leaves almost no army to defend against Intensity's oncoming push. Lots of force fields being dropped down, but unfortunately it's just not going to be enough, as the army is just way too overwhelming for Intensity. Of Intensity's 4KY. We did see Charge being upgraded, but it's not going to make a difference. Continually force fielding this ramp, so Intensity's units KY's units are stuck up here doing nothing. Very nice job. He tries to cut off a few units, but it's not going to make a difference. Intensity has this observer here. KY calls a GG and leaves the game. So yes, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and Intensity, thanks for setting the replay. That was a demonstration of a good Protoss versus Protoss in the Platinum League, and I'll hopefully get a few more up for you soon. Thanks for watching.